If you're a big fan of Erin Condren, then by now you've probably watched hundreds of videos of affiliates sharing all the things that they have gotten. And while I did not receive anything from the team this year for launch, I do have a planner that I do want to share with you that is an option during this upcoming LifePlanner launch. And I just so happened to have bought it when I placed a warehouse order in the spring. Didn't know at the time that it was something that was like really new. I just happened to see it on the site, and because it was on sale, I got it so that I can review it. And I wanted to show it off and kind of compare it because it is a little bit different than their other focus planner. So if you want to see what that is, keep watching. Okay, right away, let's go ahead and point out something I just noticed literally right before filming, because I went to grab my other focus planner. Now this, of course, this is not a cover that comes on their focus planners. The focus planners have more of like a vegan leather type thing, and that's not what this actually is, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. But the reason I got this is because I wanted to show you how like these are the tabs that come on a focused planner, and then this is the coil. So I didn't even realize when I first got this and unboxed it the other day that the coil size on this newer version of the focus planner is way smaller in comparison. And my camera showing that it's so much smaller, and I think maybe that's why I was having like, I don't know, difficulty when I was, if you saw that video. If you didn't, I'll pop it up here so you can. I was not happy with like how this showed up, but I had to like bend the coil a little bit, and it's still kind of not exactly right. But I do think that they need to really consider expanding this a little bit bigger. So this is definitely not the planner for you if you're going to be using stickers, or even if you're going to be adding a snap-in dashboard. Hang on, I have one literally right here that I can pop in and show you what I mean. Like, there's hardly any room as is with what's in here. So I can't see adding very much else onto this. With this launch, they actually came out with some snap-in pocket folders that, oh my God, would be amazing for anybody who's using a planner. I know that it's in the 7x9 size, and I don't have it again with me, but that would be so great in any planner. In the past, what I've done is I've used a snap-in. Well, what I've used is I've gotten a vinyl pocket folder that came in a plum paper, and I snipped that out and pushed it into a planner and used that to store my like checkbook register and like receipts, so that I can house all of that stuff together for my bills. And that is like one of the things that Erin Condren was missing, was some kind of like a pocket folder, and I'm so glad that they have it. It's like a 3-pack, and so it'll have like a tab that sticks out on this side, there's one that sticks on this side in the middle, and then one on this side. So if you got that 3-pack and you tried to stick all 3 in here, honestly, that's not going to work. If you just get the regular version of the focus planner, that will work just fine. That has plenty of room on that coil, but not on this one. The pictures that I'm looking at though for the coiled eco-friendly planner that they're showing me in the catalog they sent the affiliates, it doesn't look like this coil, and it looks like this one. So if that's changed, I will like leave something in the description. I won't know though until actual launch, which is on the 24th for the insiders and the 25th for the general public. The 24th and the 25th of April 2023. Let's see. This planner is it's a 2023 eco-friendly planner, and the main thing with this is it's made from recycled materials and it's 100% recyclable. So what it says right here is that the aluminum spiral can be recycled also, that the pages are recycled, they're 100% recycled, and that this cover is like a paperboard, and it's recyclable too. So the only thing, I mean, one of the only things other than the fact that like the coil showed up bent and it's small, so it made it kind of difficult. And the only other thing is this cover. I'm not crazy about how this looks. To me, honestly, it looks cheap, which I do want to point out that according to the catalog that I'm looking at, their regular focus planners are going to be starting at $46.50, and those are going to have like a vegan leather cover, which this one did come with a vegan leather cover, and I snipped it off and popped one of these regular snap-on ones. Now with this launch, they're actually coming out with snap-in covers. I see 2 different colors. There might be more than that, but I know for sure there's going to be some kind of sage green, and there's going to be a wisteria color, which is like a purple. Like if you saw my haul, I bought a little purple softbound notebook. It's a wisteria color. That's going to be the color. So this is what I would do. If I was going to be using this planner, this cover, I would cut this off, toss it in the recycling, and then get one of the vegan ones, the vegan snap-in ones, and pop that on here and use that instead. But they do offer this planner with this launch upcoming. They're going to be offering this in this black, but also in what they're calling a blush half moon. So I'm going to try my best to put up a picture, and it's not going to look the best because I don't have like a high quality picture, and I'm cropping this from the catalog, and I'm not allowed to share like the entire catalog, but I will share the picture of the item for you so you can kind of see what I mean about what that looks. So if they would have had that option when I placed my warehouse order, I probably would have picked that cover, because I really think at the time they only had this color as an option. So you're not going to be able to get a full like 2023, but you will be able to get something that starts in July 2023, moving on the 24th if you're an insider. I did do some pen testing in here, and I will make sure to point that out, but I am going to kind of show you what the layout looks like. And I'm going to, in here, I got this and I used this last year for my content planning, and I want to kind of compare, because I actually haven't looked at this compared to this to kind of see if there's anything different. The only thing that I did notice that was different for sure was the fact that it had like notches in here. So I don't know if you can tell, but like you basically put your hand like on where you want it. And that kind of, I mean, it's okay if you're flipping through, because then, I don't know, you can like sort of flex the paper and maybe get your hand under there. But I mean, it is kind of, it's not exactly the easiest. So I would probably stick some sort of tab on here, like a removable transparent tab thing, and make that to help with this. But I understand the reason behind it is because the tabs, if they were to put like these standard laminated tabs on here, then that is not recyclable. So the idea is to make this whole thing recyclable. So let's see. I think in the beginning, hang on, let me make sure. Yeah, there's nothing on here. So this one, it's basically laid out the exact same way as it was before. And then if I go to the month view, so you get one of these pages. If you haven't seen one of these, this is also the same in the other one. You get all the holidays here. And then you jump into the, wait, that's different. Wait, let's see what February is too. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like that. Okay, so that's different than it was before. Didn't know that, learned something new. So they moved the calendars from being over on the corner to being like right here in the middle, which I don't see why they would have done that, but okay. I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. That's fine. Okay, but the layout is exactly the same, where you have a dashboard here. I bet you that calendar is probably in a different spot too. Yep. So the calendar is right here on this side instead of being over there. And then you've got this. See, I'm not a fan of the fact that like these notches are on all the pages, and so you're kind of losing some real estate here with lines for writing, but that might not be that big of a deal. And then here's the week. So I think, yeah, they moved the calendar. They moved all the calendars down here to the middle. Interesting. And the paper is definitely a little bit like yellower, it looks like. it's very difficult to tell. And it looks like this ink is much darker ink than on this one. So I don't know if like all around the Focused got a little bit of a darker print this year, because this one's a 2022. I didn't get a 2023 in the regular Focused, but I like this darker print, honestly, and it still has the grayer line. So I actually like prefer this darker than versus that. And yeah, I use this for content planning. So what I did was I was actually using these weeks to track what I was doing, and I would break down like this is where I would put just random things related to content. Over here I would put things related to posting on Instagram or social media, and that way I can kind of at a glance see like this was the social media stuff and these were other things, like if I filmed or wrote a blog post or something, like sent an email, that was on this side. That's how I did that. And that helped me to see that I'm making progress and doing things, because if you are creating content and you know that it can sometimes feel like you're not moving the needle, but you actually are, and doing that definitely has helped me a lot. So my content planning has moved into my Moxie life, and I no longer use like a week like this. I use the notes pages in the back of those notebooks. But at the end of the week, you get just, some line pages, and see my pages are kind of bent a little because of that coil that bent it, but it's still usable. And then you jump right into the next month. At the end of this focused planner, you do have a little bit of note spacing. And I also will mention this paper does not feel the same as Erin Condren paper. This one feels a little bit more like toothy and has like what you know to be for the Erin Condren paper as far as like the coiled products. And this one feels more similar to their soft bound notebooks. And I did a little bit of pen testing last night to prepare, and these are the ones that I used to write, and all of them wrote really well. Like nothing to me felt like weird, and feel any the writing experience didn't feel different to me, which is really good, because sometimes like paper that's recycled, I don't know, I had a journal this year that is was giving me a hard time with any pen that I use. It was kind of like making that pen skip, and that was clearly an issue of the paper and not the pen, because the pen was acting fine in anything else that I wrote. So I didn't notice like anything bad about the writing experience for this. Again, like the paper is only slightly a little bit yellower than regular Erin Condren paper, but I wouldn't like, it's not noticeable unless you're putting it up against something else. So to me, it still looks like a white. It still looks like a white paper. It's just not like a super bright white. And then even with, hold on, if I show you the like next to the plum paper, I don't know if you can even tell that it looks even white. Like that might make this one makes it look whiter. This one makes this this one next to this makes this paper look a lot yellower, because this is more white. So just a heads up on that. And nothing bled through that I tried, except these dot markers. So it kind of started to look like it was going to bleed through, especially on those last two, but I did kind of press harder on those last two, because I kind of wanted to see if I did a bigger dot, what would happen. So there is like a little bit of like a ghosting there, but it's not too bad. And if I don't know if the camera, I feel like on the camera it's showing it even worse, or maybe not. It's actually showing it the right amount. So I guess what I could do is I could try and use some of these same ones. Like this one right here, I know is this one. So I can try and do that same thing and see what it looks like on the back. What I write, EC. This was from the EC Advent box, and it's like probably one of the darkest gel pen inks that I have. I feel like it's like the same amount of show through in both of those. But as you can see, like the inner gel in the 7 looks like it shows through about the same amount as this did. None of the Erin Condren, these are all like Erin Condren highlighter things. None of those like bled through, but you can kind of see it a little bit. I don't know. It just really, I think it performed really good compared to regular paper. This one was a regular mild liner. So the mild liner worked. I would say, look, the mild liner, and this was a olive mild liner though. Let's see if I do. I kind of, it's like the same. I sort of feel like you almost see it more on this than you do over here. I don't think it's the lighting. Yeah, I feel like that one. So I don't know. I think it just depends. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I feel like if you're okay with the Erin Condren paper and the way that like things don't show through, you'll be fine with the quality of this paper. So on that, they did a really good job, which honestly I was impressed about. Like I said, the main thing I am not crazy about is the fact that the coil is kind of small. So if you are going to add dashboards or those new pockets, that might be hard. And then actually, now that I think about it, if I were to snip this cover, because this cover is kind of thin, and I feel like this cover is thinner than the vegan leather ones that they make. Although I haven't gotten my hands on like the newer one, so I don't know if the newer one is comparable to this thickness or is thicker. Hopefully it's not thicker, because if it's any thicker than this, then cutting this out and switching it with one of those snap-in ones might make that even tighter. So, I don't know. I think like this is definitely a product that is designed specifically to be for somebody who genuinely is focused on wanting to buy, like recycled products and recycled paper, and is very hyper aware of their consumption. I, on the other hand, I do recycle what I can with old planners. When I rip things out I rip them out the coil and I will recycle the paper. Of course, I can't recycle like the tab stuff, and so I've even like ripped out the tab part that's laminated and recycled that because it's paper. So I don't. I mean, the coil on their regular coils, I don't know what this is made of that is perhaps preventing this from being allowed to be recycled, but that's not a lot of waste, I suppose, in my opinion. But I don't know, to each their own. So I thought that I would do that quick video to just show you the differences between these two, and to just show you like the quality of the pen testing in case you were interested in perhaps picking up the eco-friendly version of this focus planner. And if you are going to be purchasing something from the launch, I'm not going to ask you to use my link. I was going to say that let me know in the comments what you are going to be picking up. The only thing that I have my eyes on at the moment are those snap-in pocket dashboards and the snap-in vegan leather covers. Those are right now the only things. And I know what I really liked. I'm looking at the catalog while I am filming this so that I can like let you know what I'm thinking. What I like, and I don't know if they're going to do this with the launch. I don't see it in the launch. I see a vegan leather planner folio in a champagne color, but I do not see one in the wisteria color. I like really like that color. That's like a color I'm really liking, and I could see myself like I almost want to just get the A5 ring agenda that's going to be in the wisteria just so that I can have that wisteria cover, but I don't use A5 rings. Yeah, that like I know, I'm pretty sure Erin Condren will eventually offer it. Wait, let me go back to, hold on a second. Yeah, it doesn't say. I was checking to see if it had listed out other color options in that item for that planner folio, but it is not. One thing that I am going to say is that I was very surprised to see in this catalog some washi tape that they are listing as part of the Focus collection. And this washi tape is colorful. It's like there's four in the washi tape. There's two that are like standard size washi and then two that are skinnier. I'll pop that up obviously so you can see what I'm talking about. I was like really confused that they offered something like that under the Focus. But I suppose those colors match the covers because they're coming out with some like other cover options for the Focus that are more colorful. And I don't know if I wonder how well that's going to do. We'll see. They do have something on here that I don't see a picture of yet that is supposed to be some tabbed sticky notes. It's a duo 2-pack and they have it listed for $8.50, but I don't have a picture in the catalog. So I don't know what that is, and it's listed under the Focus. So I will have to make sure to share a link to that in the description once I have a link that I can share it to so you can see. But that's like very limited in like the Focus line on what they have offering as far as accessories go for the launch. They do have like some pens that they're coming out with, like a 6-pack, and looks like each pen is a different thickness of line, which is kind of cool. Then of course they have just the standard, one of these with updated cover designs, and then an A5 ring agenda, and you can have those in a few different color options. So yeah, let me know what you are thinking, what you're feeling about this eco-friendly option. It makes me wonder if they are going to start eventually offering at some point a version of the LifePlanner in an eco-friendly version. I know that I've seen in stores, like at Target, they did an eco-friendly version for the teacher planner last year. I don't know what the price point on that was, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I would assume because that was at Target, it had to have been on a lesser price point, even though it was still eco. It'll be interesting to see if they expand the eco-friendly line. And let me know what you think, if you think that's something that they're moving towards, if it's something that you're interested in, if it's something that you're concerned about with your consumption of planner items, and when you make purchases, is that influencing your decision? I know that when I first kind of found the community in early 2021 and I was looking at all the products, that was kind of on my mind too, about the fact that I'm all of a sudden buying a lot of products that are paper and none of it was like recycled. I've always, well, I shouldn't say always, but I usually tend to, like when I buy copy paper for my house, I tend to try and buy recycled copy paper, even though it's on the pricier side. So I guess you would say I'm kind of that target market where if Erin Condren were to come out with eco-friendly versions, as long as it's like almost exactly functioning like the original, I probably wouldn't mind spending a little bit more on it. But I don't know if I feel like this being $10 more than this is kind of worth it, in my opinion, if I'm sacrificing like the coil size. So I don't know. I will have to kind of pay attention on the site and see if this was just an accident. I don't think they would have accidentally gave me the wrong size coil on here, or if this first run that they did that they didn't really talk about, and they kind of just, how they just throw a new thing on there and they didn't tell any affiliate about it. If that was just a test run, and that when they do this batch with the launch, if they're going to make a bigger coil, I don't know. It would be nice. I haven't, at the time that I'm filming, I have not seen anybody share anything from the Focus stuff. I will go in and ask the affiliates and see if anybody received anything from the Focus line for this launch so that I can share their videos. I'll make sure to link them in the description in case they got some products, in case any of them might have gotten one of the eco-friendly ones specifically in the Eco Blush Half Moon, because I'm curious to see how that one looked, and more to see if this coil size is small on that just as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you are subscribed, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.